students, today let us start the first chapter from the book The Moments. The Moments is a supplementary book. The first chapter is The Lost Child. The name of the chapter is The Lost Child. It is written by the famous Indian author named Mulk Raj Anand. Mulk Raj Anand is a famous Indian author. He writes about the ordinary people. He centers his writings on the common people. He is a very interesting writer who tried to give a beautiful message through his books. So today we have the first chapter from Moments named The Lost Child. In this story, we see that there is a boy who was so much excited to visit a fair with his parents. In the beginning, when he came out from his home, he was so much happy and delighted. He wanted to go to the fair and he wanted to enjoy the different activities in the fair. So he went along with his parents, and as they were going from his home through a small lane, he could experience different things on his way towards the fair. So he was trying to catch butterflies, he was trying to gather flowers, he was trying to do different activities while going, and while doing different activities, he was sometimes lagging behind. Then his father and mother used to call him, "Come on boy, come fast, let's go to the fair quickly. Let's not lag behind." So the child was still playing with different things while going to the fair. And it was the spring season. So you can see that there was a field which was covered with mustard plants, and so it was a greenery, the scenery was greenery. So they were enjoying the scenery of the fields. So they managed to reach the fair. When they reached the fair, at the entrance the boy could see a lot of sweets by different vendors displayed, like gulab jamun and so on and so forth. There were other shopkeepers like the snake charmer, the balloon sellers, and different vendors who were displayed different things in the fair. There were also different activities to be conducted as a game for the children. So the children was very much happy, and as they were going in the fair, visiting different places, and the boy was asking his father to buy, but whenever he was asking to buy, his father is to refuse by saying that this is not meant for you. And so the boy was just accepting his father's words. And in this way they were moving from place to place in the fair. There was a huge crowd, and people were enjoying different activities in the fair. So as the boy wanted to enjoy his game in the roundabout, he was trying to see the roundabout, and he was asking his father to allow him to enjoy in the roundabout. His father and his mother were not there. As he turned his head towards them to find them, he saw that his parents were not there. So he was so much panicked. So there was a twist in the story, that at that point of time, the child was so much worried and tensed. He was only thinking about his father and mother. So he was crying. He was calling his father and mother. He was telling, "Father, mother," but there was no response. So he was only crying, and it was so much fear. There was so much fear in him. After some time, when he had fallen and he was trampled by the people, there were heavy people, there were fat people, different sort of people moving from to and fro, and some might have trampled him. So after some time, there was an uncle who tried to help the boy. The uncle came near to the boy and helped him. He lifted him up when he had fallen and asked him, "Where is your father and where is your mother?" The boy was only crying. So the uncle wanted to help him. He was trying to buy different things. He took him to the snake charmer. He took him to for the horse ride, and he wanted to give him different things to make him happy. But not a single thing he liked to have it at that point of time. He was only thinking about his father and mother. So from this story, we come to know that Mulk Raj Anand want to give us a message about the importance of our parents. The importance of parents is very, very crucial in the lives of every child. So we could see in this child that he was so much fond of different things in the beginning. But when his parents were not there with him, he realized that he don't need any other thing. Only the thing which he needed was his parents. So from this chapter we come to know the importance of parents. So now let us move to the chapter and see paragraph wise and understand it in depth. So students, let us read the chapter and understand it. The chapter name is The Lost Child. So here in the beginning, a child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? The question here in the beginning is that the child went with his parents to the fair, and he was very happy and excited to see the sweets and toys. He wanted to have sweets and toys. But his parents did not buy for him. But when he gets lost in the fair, he come across with an uncle who wanted to buy the same things which he liked in the beginning. But he refused it. Why? Because when he lost his parents, he did not want the things which he longed earlier. His only concern was his parents. So now let us read the first paragraph. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes, narrow roads, and Alice also means small roads, emerged means came out, a gaily clad humanity. A gaily means joyful, clad humanity means a group of people who are very joyful, a happy group of people. Some walked, some rode on horses. So people going to the fair, some were going by foot, some were going by horse, others sat at the roadside, being carried in bamboo and bullock carts, some were going by bullock carts. There was a little boy. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. So we are talking about this little boy who was going with his parents. He was going with his parents and he was very happy, laughing and full of happiness. So we can see here, you can see in the picture, there were balloon sellers, there are different games organized, this is called roundabout, and so there were different activities in the fair. This was the boy who gets lost in the fair. We'll come to know while we go ahead. Come child come, call his parents. So while going, parents were calling, because sometimes he was lagging behind. As he lagged behind means he was just remained back. As he lagged behind, fascinated means attracted by the toys in the shops that lined the way. So he could see different shops lined, and he was trying to have those things. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call. Means whenever his parents were calling, he was listening to them and he was following them. His eyes still lingering. Lingering means moving here and there, looking here and there, moving here and there. On the receiving toys, there are so many toys displayed on the shops. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress, he could not control the desire of his heart. What was the desire of his heart? To have sweets, to have toys, and to enjoy the roundabout, and so on and so forth. Even though he well knew the old cold stare means looking with a fixed eye, staring, looking with a fixed eye, stare, S-T-A-R-E, of refusal in their eyes. So whenever he was asking his parents to buy, his parents were refusing, they were not buying. So he was telling, I want that toy. He pleaded means requested. His father looked at him red-eyed, showing red eye in anger, in his familiar tyrant's way. Tyrant means like a very rude way, very strong way, tyrant's way. His mother melted. His mother was very good, so she was very soft-hearted. Melted means very soft-hearted. By the free spirit on the day was tender. She was very loving, kind, tender, and giving him her finger to hold. So the boy was giving finger to his mother to hold. Said, "Look, child, what is before you?" It was a flowering mustard. So when they were going through a mustard field, pale like melting gold, as it swept across miles and miles of even land. Even land is plain land. So they could see while they were going to the fair, they were passing through the mustard plants, mustard fields, and it was looking like a plain land. A group of dragonflies were bustling, making sound about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting means stopping the flight of a lone means alone, black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness. See, butterflies and dragons, they were trying to find sweet liquid for their food, liquid as a food for them from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze. So the child was trying to catch the dragonflies and butterflies. So it was trying to look at them. Gaze means looking at in the air with his gaze. Till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it. The boy was trying to catch the butterfly and dragonfly, but it would go flying and moving ahead, flapping up into the air. So the dragonfly and butterfly were moving in the air, flying in the air. When he had almost caught it in his hands, then his mother gave a cautionary call. Cautionary call means his mother was telling, "Come, child, come on to the footpath. Don't move here and there." Sometimes the boy was going to the field trying to catch the butterfly and the dragonfly and all. He ran towards his parents gaily means happily, and walked abreast of them, trying to walk together with them for a while. Being, however, soon left behind, after some time again he remains backside, because he was so much attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming, that were gathering out from their coming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. Then the parents used to tell him, "Come, child, come." His parents called from the shade of a grove. Grove means, so they were getting tired, so they were sitting under the trees. Grove, there were number of trees, so grove, where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well, and there was also there. He ran towards them, so the boy went towards his parents. A shower, when they were sitting on the grove, a shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove. As the child was coming towards the tree, there was a shower, the flowers fell from the trees, and forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hand. So he was trying to gather the flowers petals. But lo, he heard the cooing of the doves. He could see the doves, no? He could hear the sounds of the cooing of the doves, and ran towards his parents, shouting, He was saying, the child was saying to his parents, the dove, the rainy petals dropped from his forgotten hands. While he was calling and telling his parents, the petals were falling from his hands. Again, he could hear from his parents, "Come, child, come." They called to the child, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree. So there was a banyan tree and he was running around the banyan tree, and gathering him up, they took the narrow winding footpath, winding this zigzag footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. So they went through the zigzag road through the mustard fields. Next paragraph. As they came near to the village where the fair was there, the child could see many other footpaths. There were many other footpaths, small roads, full of throngs. You can see the phrases here, full of throngs, converging to the whirlpool of the fair, and felt at once repelled and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. So the fair was like a different world for him. So he was so much excited. So as he entered the fair, he could see a sweet meat seller selling sweet meat like gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and a crowd pressed round his counter. So many people were gathered around the counter of their sweet shops. At the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets, there were different types of sweets, decorated with leaves of silver and gold. The child stared, looked with fixed eye, open-eyed, and his mouth watered. Water was coming out from his mouth by seeing the barfi, for the barfi that was his favorite sweet. Then he was telling, "I want that barfi." He slowly murmured, he spoke softly, but he half knew as he requested that his plea means requested, would not be heeded, would not be heard. Heeded means request that would not be heard by his parents, because his parents would say he was greedy. His parents would say that he is a greedy boy. So in that way he understood that his parents are not going to buy for him. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. So he understood that it is no use of asking his parents, so he moved on. Next he saw a flower seller, hawk means selling. Flower seller, hawk, a garland of gulmohar, flowers. The child seemed irresistibly drawn. He liked the flowers and he went to the flower seller. He went towards the basket where the flowers lay heaped. Heaped means piled up, kept in huge amount, and half murmured, "I want that garland." So he said, "I want that garland." But he well knew his parents would refuse to buy him those flowers, because they would say that they were cheap. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. So flower also he just gave up. He did not want to tell his parents. A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green and purple balloons flying from it. The child was simply carried away in his mood. He was attracted by the rainbow glory of their silken colors, and he was filled with an overexcited desire to possess them all. But he well knew his parents would never buy him the balloons, because they would say he was too old to play with such toys. So he walked on further. So he saw balloons, so he wanted to buy those things, but he understood that if he tell his parents would not buy for him. So he moved on. After that he saw a snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake which rolled itself in a basket, its head raised in a graceful bend like the neck of a swan, while the music stole in his invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. The child went towards to hear such coarse means rough music. As the snake charmer played, he proceeded further. So he went to the snake charmer also, and he saw there was a roundabout. Now there will be a twist in the story now. Roundabout. There was a roundabout. I will tell you what is the Roundabout, you can see this part. You can see this one. This is called roundabout. You can see this is roundabout. Okay. So roundabout. So let me tell you about roundabout. So now there will be a twist in the story. There was a roundabout in full swing. Men, women and children carried away in a whirling motion. So I showed you the roundabout, how it moves. No? Shrieked and cried with dizzy laughter. So when they go in that roundabout, people enjoy. Children, men and women, all they enjoy. The child watched them intently, looked very closely, and then he made a bold request. So the boy was looking at the roundabout and he was trying to, he wanted to go to on the roundabout, please father and mother. So he was requesting, when he was trying to request to his father and mother, there was no reply. When he turned to look at his parents, they were not there, idle them. So now he will get lost. So at this point of time he get lost because his parents because there was a huge crowd. So when he was trying to ask the permission from his parents to give him permission to go for the roundabout, he turned to look on either side, they were not there. He looked behind, there was no sign of them. So now he was very much worried. A full deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood. He was running here and there, crying in real fear. Mother, father, tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. He was very angry and very worried. His flushed face was convulsed with fear. He was filled with fear, panic-stricken. He ran to one side first, then to the other, hither and thither, like here and there, in all directions, knowing not where to go. Mother, father, he waited. He wailed his cry. His yellow turban came untied, and his clothes became muddy. So it was a muddy place. So you can understand this is a village scene. So the story is taking place in the village. So the fair also is in the village. So it was muddy. Having fun to and fro. To and fro means going forward and backward. In a rage. Rage means anger or running for a while. He stood defeated. He was getting discouraged. His cries suppressed into sobs. He was controlling his cry because he was lost at little distances. On the green grass he could see through his filmy eyes men and women talking. He tried to look intently among the patches of bright yellow clothes, but there was no sign of his father and mother among these people who seemed to laugh and talk and just for the sake of laughing and talking. So he was very much worried. He ran quickly again, this time to a shrine to which people seemed to be crowding. Every little inch of space here was congested. Congested means so much crowd with men. But he ran through people's legs. He crossed through the legs of people. His little sob lingering means moving here and there. And calling, Mother, Father, near the entrance to the temple. However, the crowd became very thick. Very thick means the crowd was increasing. Men jostle means push him hurriedly, each other. Heavy men. There were fat men, flashing murderous eyes and hefty shoulders, big shoulders, pulling him. The poor child struggled to thrust a way between their feet, but not to and fro. Not to and fro means he went push and pull by the brutal movements. Some were going very roughly, so he was just pushed and pulled. He might have been trampled. Trampled means he was put on the feet, underfoot. Had he not shrieked, had he not cried at the highest pitch of his voice, Father, Mother, a man in the surging means increasing crowd, heard his cry. So there was a good uncle who heard about his crying and he wanted to help him, like the movie Bajrangi Bhaijaan. Children, you must have watched the movie Bajrangi Bhaijaan, how Salman Khan was trying to help that Mundi small girl from Pakistan. So how Salman Khan was trying to help. In the same way, there was a good uncle who tried to help like Salman Khan in the movie Bajrangi Bhaijaan. So there was a Bajrangi Bhaijaan in this lesson also, good uncle. So a man in the surging crowd heard his cry, stooping, bending with great difficulty, lifted him up in his arms. So that good uncle tried to hold him up. Then he was trying to say, "How did you get here, child?" So that uncle was asking to that little boy, "How did you get here? Whose baby are you? Where are your parents?" The man asked as he steered clear of the mass. And mass means crowd. He was trying to clear the crowd. The child wept more bitterly. The child was crying very bitterly, very much. They never now and only cried. The child was only telling, "I want my mother, I want my father." Only he was trying to call his father and mother. The man tried to soothe means comfort, trying to make him understand, trying to show love and concern for him. The man tried to soothe him by taking him to the roundabout. See, roundabout, I showed you the roundabout. Earlier he was requesting for the roundabout to his parents, but at that point of time he got lost. But now the uncle is trying to help him to play in the roundabout. "Will you have a ride on the horse?" He gently asked as he approaching. Approaching means as they came near to the ring. Their child's throat tore into 1,000 shrill sobs, and he only shouted. But the boy was not interested in the roundabout, neither was interested to have a horse ride. He was not interested in anything. Only interest was about his parents. He wanted to find his father and mother. So he was calling, "I want my mother, I want my father." So this way he was calling. You can see this. So the uncle was taking him. So this was the uncle, you can see it. This was the uncle. So this was the uncle, and this was the boy who was crying. You can see here how that uncle, he was like a Bajrangi Bhaijaan, like in the movie you have seen. Salman Khan was the good uncle in that movie Bajrangi Bhaijaan. So in the same way, in this chapter, the lost child, here there is a good uncle who is trying to help this little boy. So we can see here the man headed towards the place where the snake charmer still played on the flute to the swaying cobra. Listen to that nice music. So the uncle took him to the snake charmer. He pleaded, but the child shut his ears. Now he is not interested to listen to the snake charmer, to anybody. With his fingers and shouted his double piece strain. So he shouted all the more with a loud sound, with a loud pitch. "I want my mother, I want my father." Only lines that he knew was, "I want my father, I want my mother." The man took him near the balloons, thinking the bright colors of the balloons would distract the child's attention and quieten him. "Would you like a rainbow colored balloon?" he persuasively asked. The child turned his eyes from the flying balloons and just sobbed. Sobbed is crying, "I want my mother, I want my father." So the uncle took him to the balloon vendor to buy him different colors of balloons, but the boy refused to have those things. See, these things he liked it in the beginning very much, but now in the absence of his parents, he did not like these things. He only liked to have his mother and father. The man still trying to make the child happy. See, the good uncle was trying to make him happy, bore him to the gate where the flower seller sat. So he took him to the flower seller. "Look, can you smell those nice flowers, child? Would you like a garland to put round your neck?" The child turned his nose away from the basket and reiterated his sob. So he did not want to have that flower. Instead, he was crying by saying, "I want my mother, I want my father." Thinking to humor, so the uncle was trying to make him happy, trying to make him happy. Thinking to humor is consolate child by gift of sweets. The man took him to the counter of the sweet shop. At last, the man took him to the sweet shop where it was displayed at the entrance. "What sweets would you like, child?" So he wanted to buy sweets for the child. He asked. The child turned his face from the sweet shop and only said, "I want my mother, I want my father." So the child did not want to have sweets and any other things except his father and mother. So you can understand from the story that he was only in need of his father and mother. His only concern was his father and mother, and he did not want anything from the parent. So we can understand the importance of the parents when they are not in our presence. So I hope you have understood the chapter, and you'll go through the chapter and you'll understand, and you'll write your question answers in a proper way. So all the best and understand the lesson well.